solitary figure has arrived in motel and rented a motel room. Many people who see him think of him and refer to him as the man in the hat. He is alone in the Murgatroyd motel room, alone and quite content as he flips on the television set to see what is airing on CIR's TV this night.
Murgatroyd, you're watching CIR World.
The audio files presented here were discovered in the apartment of Apron Head after his suicide through self-immolation as he burned down the paper dough factory. The identities of the mental patients remain unknown, but paperwork which accompanied the cassettes indicated that they were former patients of Dr. Flipshire in Flattown and that both women had committed suicide and each had no known relatives. Dr. Flipshire agreed upon the release of these audio files to the public, and we present them here now in their raw, graphic form.
I'm as nutty as a fruitcake. I'm crazy. Hurt somebody else disease, I'm going to get hurt too. Which is what happened this last time. We don't get any peace of mind if I don't get revenge. I'm as nutty as a fruitcake. I'm crazy. When I wrecked the truck, I was thinking that my doctor finally tried to get suicide, but I don't believe I did. I'm just trying to stand some gravel road. Let's face it, I don't exactly conduct my life according to what society deems acceptable, now do I? I'm suddenly got this evil little urge just to drive right into the front of his office. And I did it. I'm as nutty as a fruitcake. One thing you can't accuse me of is being dull or stupid. Really shouldn't mess with me. Sobbing, grovel at the Queen Mother's feet. You're watching CRV World.
Thursday evening or Thursday night. So look for Uncle Martin Thursday night to come by. Okay, have Grandma and Grandpa. Don't forget, tell Aunt Grace Uncle Martin's coming Thursday. Okay, Ann. Love you. Bye.
And on that note, we will go to a commercial break and have a word from our sponsors. Now, this weekend at all Tripleplex theaters, terrifying double feature. I Was a Teenage Cannibal and Diary of a Mad Drag Queen. Warning, in this special unedited edition, no one will be seated during the terrifying cross-dressing sequence. Opening Friday at a local theater near you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a random telephone call segment.
I was. Well, he said, okay, you know, and then 3 minutes ago he called me back. He was cussing and raving. And he said, tell that little son of a bitch to leave me alone. And I'll fucking leave him alone. I said, I'm going to whip his ass, but I'm going to get you in that.
Oh, God.
He said, no, I'm not going to kill him. I'm going to whip his ass. I'll just grab him and whip it.
He did. And that was our random telephone telephone call sample. And now, another word from our sponsors. Stop by Christie's for that super deluxe Ultra Burger. And don't just make it a double. Make it a double, double, double. This week's only special. Now, coming to a theater near you, Revenge of the Statue of the Buddha. See orgiastic, swanton abandon from monks whose desires have so long been suppressed that they explode on the screen in sensual fury. In sensual surround. We're going to have a commercial break, a word from our sponsors. And now, available at last on CD. Available in all music stores. Country music hits. She was a frustrated woman. He was a Indian with the skin disease left leg. And the classic. A slice of bed, a slice of ripple, and now beneath the overpass. And who can forget the all-time hit, Little Yonderly in all her glory. Ah, but keeping with the times, with these technological times, there's the timely hit. I had a flat on the information superhighway late last night. And now it's time for OSAR's and CRZY's roving weather helicopter report from the chopper above, letting us know what the weather's about. And here's your classic weather jingle. Whether or not you believe in the weather or not. The eyes have it. Yes, we have weather watchers, people. They go outside, and with their eyes, they look up at the sky to see if the sun's out. They look up at the sky to see if it's raining. And by God, they look up at the sky to see if it's cloudy. The eyes of OSAR will inform you daily whether or not you believe in the weather or not. The eyes have it. And remember, anytime, all time, every time you want to know what the weather is, just tune in to CRCY.
Talk shoes. Recorded live. In the Detroit you're watching CRZY. You're watching CRZY.
Thursday evening or Thursday night. So look for Uncle Martin Thursday night to come by. Okay, have Grandma and Grandpa. Don't forget, tell Aunt Grace Uncle Martin's coming Thursday. Okay, Ann. Love you. Bye.
And on that note, we will go to a commercial break and have a word from our sponsors. Now, this weekend, in all tripleplex theaters, terrifying double feature. I Was a Teenage Cannibal and Diary of a Mad Drag Queen. Warning, in this special unedited edition, no one will be seated during the terrifying cross-dressing sequence. Opening Friday at a local theater near you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a random telephone call segment.
I was. Well, he said, okay, you know, and then just a minute ago he called me back. He was cussing and raving, and he said, tell that little son of a bitch to leave me alone, and I'll fucking leave him alone. I said, I'm going to switch his ass, but I'm going to get you in that. Oh, God. She said, no, I'm not going to kill him. I'm going to whip his ass. I'll just grab him with it. He did.
And that was our random telephone call sample. And now, another word from our sponsors. for that super deluxe Ultra Burger. And don't just make it a double. Make it a double, double, double. This week's only special. Now, coming to a theater near you, Revenge of the Statue of the Buddha. See orgiastic, wanton abandon from monks whose desires have so long been suppressed that they explode on the screen in sensual fury. In sensual surround. We're going to have a commercial break, a word from our sponsors. And now, available at last on CD, available in all music stores. Country music hits. She was a frustrated woman. He was a sudden Indian with the skin disease left leg. And the classic. A slice of bread, a slice of ripple, and now beneath the overpass. And who can forget the all-time hit, Little Yonderly in all her glory. But keeping with the times, with these technological times, there's the timely hit. I had a flat on the information superhighway late last night. And now it's time for OSAR's and CRZY's roving weather helicopter report from the chopper above, letting us know what the weather's about. And here's your classic weather jingle. Whether or not you believe in the weather or not, the eyes have it. Yes, we have weather watchers, people. They go outside, and with their eyes, they look up at the sky to see if the sun's out. They look up at the sky to see if it's raining. And by God, they look up at the sky to see if it's cloudy. The eyes of OSAR will inform you daily whether or not you believe in the weather or not. The eyes have it. And remember, anytime, all time, every time you want to know what the weather is, just tune in to CRCY.
Talk shoes. Recorded live. In the Detroit, you're watching CRZY. In the Detroit, you're watching CRZY.
Talk shoes. Recorded live.
Now, I must turn to a more serious matter. It's time for interviews or us. And today, I, Hugh Millicent, am going to interview Dr. Derrickson. He was apron head psychiatrist. And we're going to get Dr. Derrickson's insight. And after that, we're going to have the hillbilly psychiatrist from Flattown. He's going to offer his psychoanalysis of apron head, his determination of what went wrong and why. But first, let's talk to Dr. Derrickson. Dr. Derrickson, exactly what's your assessment of apron head?
Well, obviously the child was clinically depressed. I think he had a neurosis. There was a neurotic aspect, and at the same time he slipped over into absolute, complete psychotic behavior. Hence the homicidal act on the owner, the president of the paper doll factory. And then the self-immolation when Apronhead doused himself with gasoline and then lit himself. There was this incredible destructive act. He wanted to go out with a bang. He wanted to go out big. He wanted attention, and he got the media attention. The catastrophic debacle with the paper doll factory burned down and all those poor people out of work. And even more disturbing than all of this is the psyches of all the little children who bought the flashy paper dolls. Now they're going to be impacted by this terrible, dreadful act. I fear that the flashy paper doll is forever tainted. I fear that these young kids will just forever be traumatized by the fact that the inventor and developer of the flashy paper doll turned into a homicidal, suicidal, what can you say? What else can I say? It's beyond words almost.
Well, thank you, Dr. Derrickson. I can see this is a difficult time for you as it is for all of Murgatroyd. The loss of the paper doll factory. I worked there as a youth directly across from Vincini Cosmetics. The loss of the paper doll factory will have a tremendous economic impact on the area. Fortunately, there are plans, as all of our listeners are familiar with. Fudiki Hiramoto, the Japanese business magnate, has made plans to reopen the paper doll factory, and there will be new jobs brought to Murgatroyd. So at least we have all of that to look forward to. In the meantime, again, I want to thank you, Dr. Derrickson, for your knowledge and insight into Apronhead's psychological state at the time of the atrocity. Now we're going to turn to our hillbilly psychiatrist who drove in from Flattown just to be with us this morning. I want to greet you, Dr. Flips here. Glad to meet you. Glad to have you here in our studio. Well, nice to be here. I had a nice drive down to Sawmill City. It's just off the Assault Freeway. I didn't have too much trouble finding this studio here. Nice to meet you. Anyway, you asked me what I thought of Apronhead. I'll put it in a nutshell. I think the child was nutty as a fruitcake. I mean, they went to his apartment. What did they find? A shrine to JFK. He had pictures of Kennedy on the ceiling. He had pictures of Kennedy on the wall. Hell, there was Marilyn Monroe bigger than Dallas. A poster, a 6-foot-tall poster of her right next door to JFK. And what do you have on the VCR? One Marilyn Monroe movie right after the other. I don't know if the child watched them over and over. Hell, that might be what drove him crazy. It's like he was obsessed with Kennedy. He worshipped Marilyn Monroe, and obviously he was obsessed with this little paper doll thing. If I'd been able to get him in my office and spend more time with him, I believe I could have gotten into the depths, into the bowels of Apronhead's mind. What can I say? It's a done deal now. He's gone. There's nothing left but ashes. Well, I think there might have been some charred remains, you know, but what can I say? The Dr. Derrickson has not so eloquently already said, I mean, all of Flattown and Murgatroyd are traumatized by this thing, and hell, we may be weeks or months getting over it. But I'll say this. It's been good for business. My cell phone has been ringing off the hook since this damn thing started. And half the ones calling me used to work at the paper doll factory. Now they're out of a job thanks to Apronhead. Well, fortunately, if this Hiramoto thing comes through and they reopen the paper doll factory, it'll put everybody back to work. It'll stimulate our economy, as they say. And all this trouble and trauma has definitely stimulated my economy. I think all of you kind listeners out there, if any of y'all want to come by for a 30-minute session, I got a comfortable couch. The coffee pot's always on. All you got to do is call. I can't give you my number on the air. Just pick up the phone book. I'm Dr. Flipsher over in Flattown, and my office is easy to find.